It's not who I am, it's what I do. And what I do is lots and lots of violence. Just so much violence. Flashy too. Hello everyone, and welcome back down here to the Gamer's Den with me, your host, Jordan, your master of lore and storyteller extraordinaire, here to keep it on going for the first edition Pathfinder Vigilante. Today, taking a look at some of their class abilities. We have to break this up into two parts, because one, don't want it to be too long, and two, I kind of ran a little bit short on time. So, here we go. But before we get into all of that, if you're new here to the channel, go on down there, hit the subscribe button, and become a regular member here at the Gamer's Den. Or if you've already gone on ahead and listed yourself on such an incredible roster of legendary heroes, hopefully not signing up to become another Robin, then go on down there to hit the like button and share the video far and wide. But now, let's actually start digging into the Vigilante's abilities. And we start off with the core of the class. That is dual identity. You have two separate identities and start your day with one or the other, and switching between them takes 1 minute, requiring you to be out of the sight of others. And these identities are your social and your vigilante identities. Now, knowledge checks about one reveals nothing about the other unless somehow your secret has been revealed to society or even the world at large. And social talents that you acquire as part of your social identity will usually require you being in your social identity, but even then you can still use some of your vigilante talents, albeit that carries some risk of revealing yourself. How much risk just kind of depends on the DM's call, and also how cleverly you're applying or using those vigilante talents. So use with some measure of risk, but do roleplay it out if that's what you would really think would happen. Now, when it comes to your dual identities, you can have two alignments, one for each identity. Now, though they have to be within one step of each other when you set them up, so bear that in mind. So say your social identity were lawful neutral, your vigilante identity could be neutral good or even chaotic neutral, just as long as it's within one step of the other identity's alignment axis. And each identity will be treated as that alignment for the purposes of different spells, items, etc. And attempts to scry or magically locate the vigilante will only work if the character is in their vigilante identity. Otherwise, all results turn up as a blank void, as though the target didn't exist or the target were invalid. That's massively useful. Way more than what I see some other people rate this as. This actually gives your social identity a significant amount of mechanical benefit to the character, making it very hard, legitimately hard, to locate the vigilante through use of magic when they're in their social identity. Now, if you're actually being the vigilante, then, you know, that might be a little bit trickier. They'll be able to locate you then, but if you're in your vigilante persona, then I assume that things are about to get pretty rough for those trying to find you anyways. So pay attention and be clever with how you hide yourself. Speaking of hiding yourself, that brings us to the next ability, which is Seamless Guise, which is another one that's not bad. It's just, well, let's cover it real quick. For Seamless Guise, if anyone suspects something off about the vigilante, such as being the vigilante and not just their social persona, they may make a disguise check with a +20 bonus. That's really hefty. That's significant. You're going to be able to get past most people with this. So why do I rate this ability as being not that great? It's still good. This is actually really useful. It just feels like that it could have been part of dual identity rather than its own separate thing. Dual identity could have just as easily given this bonus, but it is what it is. Both of these kick in at first level, just like social talent. At first level and every 2 levels after, the vigilante can pick out a social talent. Once chosen, it cannot be changed, and social talents will be something we cover down the line. Then we get to Vigilante specialization, also coming in at first level. And at first level, the Vigilante chooses to be either an Avenger or a Stalker. An Avenger, their attack bonus will now equal their Vigilante level, rather than the good progression that they have. You go up to 1 attack bonus for every level that you have. So level 10, that's a plus 10 attack bonus. Whereas a Stalker gains Hidden Strike, dealing an extra 1d8 precision damage on melee attacks or ranged attacks within 30 feet against opponents that are caught flat-footed, startled, or consider them an ally. So if you completely ambush them while they are unaware of your presence, you get to deal that damage. However, note that it deals only 1d4 precision damage to targets the Vigilante flanks but are otherwise aware of their presence, and can deal this precision damage to targets with concealment, which makes that pretty damned handy all the way around. Certainly, I'd say overall ups sneak attack pretty reliably. Now, just bear in mind that if your target is denied their dex bonus but they know you're there, you deal that 1d4 precision damage unless your DM rules otherwise. So it does fluctuate a little bit how much damage you're putting out, making it so that if you are playing a Stalker, you ideally want to attack your opponents by surprise and bring them down fast before they can spread the alarm. You really want to go full Batman on them and just annihilate opponents swiftly, quietly, and then move on to the next group so that you can keep pumping out that precision damage with Hidden Strike. Now, this precision damage increases by 1d8 or 1d4 at 3rd level and every 2 Vigilante levels after. And once your specialization is chosen, it cannot be changed. Now, and some Vigilante talents are locked to the precision damage of Hidden Strike, and only 1 talent may be applied to Hidden Strike at a time. So you can see where this really starts to ramp up very fast and offers quite a bit of customization and utility to the Vigilante. And in such a way that I kind of agree with Captain Crank. They really outclass rogues overall. And something else to note that Captain Crank was right in pointing out, he is certainly a better Loremaster than I, but you can find the Vigilante class in the Ultimate Intrigue book. Very ideally placed selection for them there, and certainly a worthwhile book to pick up. But if you can't pick it up, there are of course plenty of online resources. The Pathfinder system reference document, I highly recommend you pop in there and take a look around every once in a while. But before I get rambling on, what do you think? Go on down to the comments below and let me know your thoughts. Did you like today's video? Did you dislike it? Go on down to let me know in the comments down below and hit those like or dislike buttons, and we'll engage in discussion. And remember that if you're new here to the channel, go on down there, hit the subscribe button, and become a regular member here at the Gamers Den. But with all that said, I've been your host, Jordan, your Master of Lore and Storyteller Extraordinaire. Thank you all so very much for your time, and you all have yourselves a good night.